Have you ever walked into a hotel room or a friend's minimalist apartment and felt an immediate physical wave of relaxation wash over you? You take a deep breath, your shoulders drop, your mind feels clear, but then you go back to your own home. You open the door, and instantly you feel a low-level hum of anxiety. You see the pile of mail on the counter. You see the clothes draped over the chair. You see the gadgets you bought but never used. And even though you are home, you don't feel rested. You feel drained. You probably tell yourself that you are just messy. Or maybe you label yourself as lazy or disorganized. You think, if I just had more discipline, my house wouldn't look like this. But I'm here to tell you that clutter is rarely a problem of laziness. Clutter is a problem of psychology. Those piles of stuff are not just objects. They are physical manifestations of unmade decisions, trapped emotions, and a brain that is screaming for silence. Today we are going to explore the neuroscience of why some people crave minimalism, not because it looks cool, but because it is the only way their brain can function. To understand why clutter stresses you out, we have to talk about visual noise. Your brain is a processing machine. It constantly scans your environment to assess threats, opportunities, and tasks. When you look at a clean, empty surface, your brain scans it, says, "Nothing here," and relaxes. It goes into power-saving mode. But when you look at a cluttered room, your brain cannot relax. Every single object in your line of sight sends a tiny packet of data to your visual cortex. The shoe on the floor says, "Pick me up." The unread book says, "Read me." The dusty candle says, "Clean me." Even if you aren't consciously thinking about them, your subconscious is tracking them. This creates a background hum of cognitive load. For people who are highly sensitive, HSP, or have ADHD, this isn't just annoying, it is exhausting. Your environment is literally yelling at you. Minimalism isn't an aesthetic choice for you, it is volume control. It is turning down the noise so you can hear your own thoughts. This leads us to a profound psychological concept called need for cognitive closure. Some brains are wired to crave clear answers and finished tasks. When a space is cluttered, your brain interprets every object as an open loop. It is an unfinished task. That pile of laundry isn't just clothes, it is a decision you haven't made yet. Do I fold this? Do I iron it? Is it clean? Clutter is essentially a pile of deferred decisions, and decisions cost energy. By the time you navigate through your messy living room to get coffee, you have already spent 10% of your daily willpower just ignoring the mess. Minimalists intuitively understand this. They limit their possessions not because they hate things, but because they hate decision fatigue. They are protecting their mental battery for things that actually matter. But why is it so hard to let go? If the clutter hurts us, why do we keep it? This brings us to the tragedy of the fantasy self. Go look at your closet. How many items of clothing do you have for the life you actually live versus the life you wish you lived? You have the hiking boots for the person who hikes every weekend, but you prefer Netflix. You have the watercolor set for the artist you want to be. You have the size 0 jeans for the version of you that existed 5 years ago. Throwing these things away feels painful because you aren't just throwing away an object. You are killing a dream. You are admitting, I am never going to be that hiker. I am never going to paint. That is a form of grief. So you keep the clutter because it is a museum of who you could be. But the irony is, the weight of these fantasy self items is crushing your real self. You cannot enjoy who you are today because you are suffocating under the props of a character you never played. There is also the scarcity mindset, often rooted in childhood. If you grew up in a home where money was tight or where things were taken away from you, your brain wired a connection. Possessions choose safety. Keeping the broken toaster, the old cables, the empty boxes, just in case. This is a trauma response. Your brain is trying to build a fortress of supplies to protect you from a future lack. When you try to declutter, your amygdala triggers a fear response. What if I need this in 10 years and can't afford it? You are not hoarding trash. You are hoarding safety. Recognizing this allows you to be gentle with yourself. You aren't messy, you are trying to feel secure. So how do we break the cycle? How do we move from a loud home to a quiet one? Insight 1. The one-touch rule. Clutter is often just delayed movement. You take off your coat and put it on the chair, telling yourself, "I'll hang it up later." That is a lie. You have just created an open loop. Adopt the rule, if it takes less than 2 minutes, I do it now. I touch the coat once, and I put it on the hanger. I touch the mail once, and I put it in the recycling. Stop deferring the maintenance of your life. Close the loop immediately. Insight 2. Evict the fantasy self. This is hard but necessary. Go through your stuff and ask, does this item serve who I am right now? If you haven't used the pasta maker in 3 years, you are not a pasta maker, and that is okay. Let it go. Donate it. Let someone else be the pasta maker. By releasing the object, you release the guilt of not using it. You make space for who you actually are. Insight 3. The memory versus the object. We keep ticket stubs, old toys, and ugly gifts because we think the memory lives inside the object. We fear that if we throw away the object, we throw away the love. But you are not a museum curator. You do not need to archive your entire existence. Take a photo of the object. Keep the photo digitally. The memory is triggered by the image, not the physical atom. Keep the sentiment. Release the dust collector. Insight 4. Respect the container limit. Your home is a container. It has a physical limit. Just like you can't pour 2 liters of water into a 1-liter bottle without making a mess, you cannot fit 200% of stuff into a 100% home. Stop trying to organize the overflow. You cannot organize clutter. You have to subtract. Decide that your bookshelf is the limit. If you buy a new book, 1 old book must leave. This is 1 in, 1 out. It keeps the ecosystem in balance. Insight 5. Minimalism is self-care. Stop looking at minimalism as deprivation. It is not about taking things away. It is about making room. Imagine your brain as a computer with 10% RAM available because 90% is used by background apps. Your clutter. When you clear the room, you are closing those apps. You are freeing up processing power for creativity, for connection, for rest. A clean counter is not just a clean counter. It is a blank slate. It is an invitation to breathe. I want you to try something today. Do not try to clean your whole house. That is a recipe for the functional freeze we talked about in the last video. Just pick one surface, your nightstand, or one drawer, and clear it completely. Leave only what is essential and beautiful. Then, stand in front of that one clean spot. Take a breath. Notice how your body feels when you look at it. Do you feel that tiny drop in tension? That is your brain saying, thank you. That feeling is addictive. Follow that feeling. I'm curious. What is the fantasy self item you are holding on to? For me, it was a set of French language books I stared at for 5 years and never opened. I finally donated them, and the relief was huge. Tell me yours in the comments. And if you are wondering why you feel the need to buy things to feel better in the first place, that retail therapy hit, it is often linked to a lack of emotional regulation. We explore the dopamine of shopping in this next video. Click here and I'll see you there.